Your work, your deathcraft, pleases the Night Mother, and so I come to you with an offering, an opportunity to join our rather unique family.
Welcome, Dark Brothers and Sisters, to the second episode in the saga of Battle Brothers, the Dark Brotherhood. This campaign contracts mods from J.C. Sato and the Nexus to rebalance the game, and to execute the assassin theme, we are using J.C. Sato's very own Southern Assassin's origin. If you haven't seen the previous episode, pause this and go watch it first. Last we left off, our Dark family is in a bit of a pickle. We look like the result of if you were given $500 and 24 hours to hire as many of those guys you see on Ring doorbell cameras trying to rob homes. Our best chance to kill and work Berserker is to hope that he gets one of our bones stuck in his throat or implodes from having devouring all 8 of us too quickly. Have you ever hoped for something and have it work out only for it to turn out much worse than you could have initially ever imagined? Like managing to find 3 really good friends in your freshman year of college during COVID, only to have them circle you in a tunnel under your student center and tell you why they each wanted to kick you out of the proposed dorm group for the next year? Well, nothing like that's ever happened to me. That is, until I took this brigand fight helping for 7 raiders, and it was, just at the bottom of Battle Brothers' version of Mount Everest. Being astute pupils of Sun Tzu, the Dark Brotherhood split their forces to pincer the raiders. The Raider AI pulled one of the biggest IQ moves I've ever seen it perform, and counter-pushed the southern flank, leaving no mercy for 3 bros. Nazir held on until reinforcements from the north came down, but the Pyrrhic victory had all but sealed the fate of the family. But not quite. Thankfully for us all, I've got a backup. Well, more accurately, I've got the save file of the campaign I did to test out the mods and dust off the rust. It's expert on both combat and economic difficulty, but this rendition of the Dark Brotherhood has had loaded pockets ever since day 2 where we found the Golden Goose. Let's meet some of the cast of characters who we're about to get real nice and comfortable with. Sato is as deadly as ever, but an early pick of fast adaptation may prove less than useful as he reaches his peak fitness. Nazir, wisely, threw down the javelins and picked up a sword. Now all we need is for him to find one that's curved. Curved! Ares is a snake, but he's rather brave, ensuring himself to take on no fewer than 2 enemies simultaneously at any given time. Hildebert looks unassuming, but he can surge with adrenaline in an instant and cut down enemies like wheat before a scythe. Big Wenzel rallies the Brotherhood with shiny abs rather than carousing speeches. Rodwan is an opportunist, which makes him deadly with a Catal. Omar, used to carrying a family's entire net worth in his hands, is able to quickly equip and throw nets, pots, or other consumables on the enemies in the blink of an eye. Callie, as his red hair betrays, is a cocky bastard, and a devil with a long axe. Brandon is a curious case, as his stats are right on the line of someone I may want to spare from being a mid-game orc dinner. He'll have to continue to prove his worth. Skarbrand, the wild Northman with mild snowblindness, is RN for contacting any barbarians who may request our services. Casper and Hadebrand came as a pair, 2 virile men with a knack for wielding shields like they were pot lids. Last and likely least is Jason, the equivalent of the 17-year-old who thinks he'd be good at the military because he plays Rainbow Six Siege. Our first contract with this new family comes out of Wolin, and it is for none other than Willard, the murderous son of the town's now deceased barber. Willard allegedly stabbed his mother for... Wait, didn't we kill this guy already? I'm reading the contract now. Stabbed his mom, sister wants revenge. I could swear Willard is already dead.
What a twist!
Oh, there's a necromancer! Some of Willard's hooligans hired Festus Deadcrumbs to reanimate the boy, and for payment they had to steal valuables from the town. Alright, no biggie, we'll assassinate him a second time. Mom must have had better life insurance, because Willard's sister paid us more than we got last time. At this rate, I'll kill him again. The word about the Dark Brotherhood's incompetency must have gotten around, because Sato reveals that our next contract from the Night Mother is for a donkey. That's not medieval insult slang, he literally means a donkey. To make things a little bit more troublesome, there are 10 noble soldiers we have to get through first. That's what I call a casualty of circumstance. This noble fight is something that the previous incarnation of the Dark Brotherhood would not have been able to pull off, and now they would have been even further behind the difficulty curve. The upgraded gear is hugely beneficial, as is the surplus of crowns we make off what we don't want. Most importantly, other noble houses will begin to give us the respect we deserve, and perhaps some royal assassinations will be coming our way. What is the scariest sound in Battle Brothers? The one that makes me wake up in a cold sweat at night. The one that I'm pretty sure is reused in Urtuk the Desolation and gives me shivers there in a whole different game. I'll tell you. There wasn't any mercy in that fight. I think our reputation is beginning to precede us, because when we reach the next city, two men of higher social stature approach us and ask to join. Walram is an instant pick because hunters are always going to be good ranged bros. Even with a min roll and no stars, he would be projected to reach 86 ranged attack with gifted. If you need a ranged bro, you can always count on a hunter. Sir Baranor is a bit of a wuss when it comes to zombies, so for his sake, let's hope we don't run into Willard again. The Dark Brotherhood is now at a point where I'm having to choose between which bros I want to level in each fight, and this means that we've passed the difficulty curve. Do you know what this means? Our dread father's murderous family is nearly formed. Sir Baranor managed to get us an audience with House Kaltenborn, and they were convinced we would be fit to assassinate 4 orc chieftains. Sure, how hard can that be? Okay, that's a lot of berserkers. Okay, he almost two-shot a bro. Okay, we morale broke them. The second orc camp in our first sea of tents is arguably the most challenging fight of the campaign thus far. 4 warriors, a berserker with a mansplitter, and a warlord. This is going to be a true test of my skill, and I'm going to go in depth into this fight to empower you in your orc fighting futures. There is no chance I'd survive if I took the fight where we spawned, so I fell back until I found a place with several choke points. This isn't planned, I just happened to find this here. I would have kept moving otherwise. I put my formation into an arrowhead, with my two-handed bros on the north to deal with the warriors and the warlord, and my armsmen on the south to cut through the young. Killing the young is critical, so that you can get an overwhelming advantage to kill the warriors, who are tanky. Scarbrand in 240 male is at the spearhead, ready to tank wherever I need him. Also to tank, I've got Ariz with his 3-headed flail, who I kinda want to die, because he's outlived his usefulness and I don't want to pay a dismissal fee. This is a great fight for him to tank some warriors, which is what he ends up doing. A combination of nets and spear wall keep the berserker and warrior from engaging in the south until after I killed the young. I wouldn't have been able to deal with them all at once. I also don't allow the warlord to engage until most of his allies are dying, at one point even leaving a fleeing orc young alive just to make sure the warlord can't walk in on me. Morale breaking was key to this fight, and while I admittedly got lucky with some dodges, I walked away with all but one hit being on 2 bros, Ariz and Hildebert, who I was prepared to trade for this victory. I appreciate the power of this company, but one aspect that sucks is my lack of assassin perk diversity. 9 out of the 14 of my bros have either Mudblood Venom, which is decent, or Gilder's Gaze, which I'm not a huge fan of. I've also come to oppose the level 5 specialty Challenger, which gives raw stat points when your company is outnumbered, because it's boring. That orc fight was 12 on 12, but it was 20 times more challenging than 18 zombies. Challenger didn't give me anything though. Even if it did, it'd just be better RNG. Gifted is a good perk, but no one considers it exciting. I think a welcome change to improve the tactical versatility and the skill ceiling of Challenger while retaining its theme would be to give those bonuses when a bro is engaged with 2 or 3 enemies at once. That is peak risk versus reward right there. After that grueling battle, the Dark Brotherhood needed a lunch break. The men pranked Sir Baranor by having a picnic in, surprise, an ancient ruin. The Highborn held his own, but the legionaries caught Hildebert with his metaphorical drawers down and not so metaphorically collapsed his lung. On the plus side, Sato and Nazir are our first brothers to reach Nimble. Try and breathe a little easier now, eh, Hildebert? Too soon? To further train Sir Baranor, the family went to a graveyard to, re-murder a bunch of zombies. You know, normal family things. It's an easy fight, which should serve to conquer his fear of undead. A trained assassin needs to be ready for all encounters. It was also tedious. So tedious. With the only challenge being Geists. At least I was outnumbered, so Challenger got to be active.
Note, I didn't say useful.
I was thoroughly surprised to find a named pike in the loot, but unfortunately it is about as close to the definition of mid as you can get. As Sir Baranor was still afraid, we took him back to the skeletal equivalent of the previous Dark Brotherhood. As easy as you'd imagine, so let's go to the...
We must now take our leave of each other, you and I, for there is much work to be done. I'll be following your progress. Welcome to the family.